And good morning, golfing world. Welcome to TGD Today. It's the round table right here, live, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Good morning, HR.
I'm glad you're still alive.
What do you mean?
Well, you have been a little stressed lately.
A lot of stress lately. But I'm in a good mood this morning, so don't ruin it.
Oh, I'm not going to ruin it. I'm just going to run with it.
Okay. We've got a very special guest with us today.
Yes, we do, sir.
Mr. Rich Abram, who is the executive director of the First Tee program of Horry County. Good morning, Rich.
Well, good morning, guys.
Welcome.
This is great to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. And we don't have Al here today. He had a misfortunate occurrence in the family.
Yep.
So he's partaking in that. And Mr. Gene Weldon decided to go back to bed this morning.
Wish I could have done that. It would have been nice.
Gene had a treatment yesterday.
Yeah, I
Wasn't
figured
feeling well
nice.
this morning.
I figured he actually.
But I'm going to go with I had to go back to bed.
Yeah, we'll give him the benefit of that.
Yeah. I know his wife is laughing right now as they watch us on the computer.
Oh yeah.
So,
oh yeah.
But Gene gave me his picks, so we're ready with those later.
I'm sure
You'll get a laugh out of those.
Those will be in Gene. You'll like mine even better.
Oh, you're going to love mine. Two of mine aren't even playing. Tells you how much I think about it.
Yeah.
Rich joins us today because we got a very, very, very special event coming up here soon.
Yes.
And involves Kelly Tillman and Charlie Reimer and Golf Channel and probably TGD and several other people in the local community. But tell us a little bit about it, Rich.
Yeah, that's a pretty exciting event. For the fourth year, we'll have Kelly Tillman and Charlie Reimer in town. They co-host our Future Generations Tournament, which is usually the big fundraiser for all of the First Tee chapters out there. And they do a great job of bringing the people together. And over the last 2 years, this year included, Kelly asked that we have one First Tee youth with each group. We did that last year, and it was fantastic.
Good idea.
Yeah.
I think that's just shows how Kelly is thinking outside the box instead of just trying to get people out there to play golf, maybe have a few drinks and raise money for the kids. Getting the kids involved in this, it allows people to kind of, I guess, meet them and interact with the kids to see, what the First Tee's doing, how these kids are progressing, and it gives the kids a reason to want to improve and practice so that they don't want to embarrass themselves. They want to play well and do.
Sure.
And in Horry County right now, that's a big thing because junior golf in this town is suffering big time, and to get kids to playing on a level.
I was telling Rich that off the air.
Is huge.
Yeah,
huge.
I was telling him, you and I have been harping on this this harpsichord now for 5 years. I mean, we've talked about the high school programs, how they can't even field a golf team, whether it be girls or boys.
Yeah.
We've talked about the junior clinics. You've held a lot of clinics, the participation in those. Thankfully, we get people from out of town that come in and they're trying to look for things to do with their juniors.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, that's what's really bugged me since I've moved here, almost 9 years ago is, all of them coming from Hilton Head in the International Junior Golf Academy. I got to know a lot of people from not only around the country but from around the world. And I've still got a lot of these same kids that, older now, college, out of college, playing professional golf that come to see me. But most of my junior golf business is from out of town.
Right.
Wow.
It is not from Horry County because it just, for some reason, it just has not. I guess because we're tourists, I don't know. But to see something like this to try to help grow junior golf in Horry County, Brunswick County, and all that up above us and whatever, I just think it's a necessity. It's something we've got to get kids more involved in this.
We're going to see these programs grow. Our demographics are only gaining in numbers. Our number of households sold is gaining. Our medium age is lowering in the area. We're getting more industry
here. Not since
here.
you live here, it's not.
Oh, thanks, I know. Wow. You see what I deal with, Rich? And you wonder why I come back every week to do this.
I'm probably older than both of you, so
I don't know. That's arguable.
But no, you are correct. So go ahead and
these numbers are going to get better for youth and youth-driven athletic programs. I just hope that the youth of Horry County, Georgetown County, Brunswick County continue to take an interest in golf or consider golf.
And I think,
as a sport.
And can I say one other thing while you're into that thought? I think you've got a great idea. And I think the golf courses themselves have got to get more involved in this to give these kids
Well,
access.
they do.
Because at certain times of year, yes, the access is going to be limited. But at other times, even if it's available, that access is not granted or given to these kids. Where we'd go and, once things were dead, we'd hit the tee and we were gone.
Yes.
Well, they don't have that
But
option
things
here.
today are different than they used to be. I mean, today, parents are just looking for some place to go dump their kids.
Yeah.
And so many of these golf shops or golf courses, they don't have any interest to be a babysitting service. They don't want to deal with the liability issues of a babysitting service.
True.
You agree?
I mean,
I mean, if you look on the business side of it, but then again, too, they're trying to say, "Oh, come out and play," or "Kids play free after this time," or "Kids are free on this days."
as long as with a paid adult, that's kind
That's
of the,
right.
That's kind
as
of
long as the paid adult comes along and does the babysitting.
But here's the thing.
Agreed?
I don't think it's so much
That's
the
the most-
babysitting part, though. I really don't, because here's the way I look at this, George. And you're talking about somebody raised as a club pro, a PGA pro's son at a golf course. And my dad took a lot of pride, and he would turn us loose on the golf course when it was time to go play.
Right.
And as long as these kids are taught properly, now if you're a PGA professional, this is part of your duty.
Agreed.
Said or unsaid, written or unwritten, it is part of your duty. Now, how many of these golf courses in this area are run by actual PGA golf professionals?
Not as many as used to be.
And
Used to be every course had a PGA professional.
and I would say it might be 50%.
Okay.
And that herein lies the problem.
Yeah, that's a whole nother 3-hour program, though.
Yeah.
Rich, the First Tee programs, they're nationwide. I believe it's even growing outside the nation.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Okay. How do you pay the bills?
Well, that's a great question, and I think if you look at the history of the First Tee on the Grand Strand, it's been an up and down picture. And in a nutshell, I think the First Tee of Myrtle Beach and then the First Tee of the Grand Strand, with prior executive directors and program directors, did a great job of getting the kids out, getting them started in the game and all. Mm-hmm. But the financing wasn't enough from the Grand Strand
To support it.
And, that's critical, and it's critical that people understand that the First Tee of the Grand Strand is a self-contained franchise. Mm-hmm. We exist at the pleasure of the community here.
Yeah.
Right.
There is no, Tiger Woods doesn't write us a check, PGA Tour doesn't write us a check.
Which is a shame.
And there's grants available. They tend to be matching funds, so I'll say the rich get richer on in that regard. But again, 90-some% of our money is going to come from Grand Strand individuals and businesses, fundraisers like our
Right.
Future Generations tournament. I mean, we charge $40 for an 8-week series of lessons. We don't make a profit on that. I mean, we've got, volunteer expenses, background checks, that type of thing. All the kids get golf clubs. They get fitted clubs,
Right.
so there's a little expense there. But even running a lean and mean operation where everything's donated, we still have to come up with a couple $100,000 every year, to pay we operate with 2 paid employees, which, I've worked for some big companies. We have quite a scope
Right.
for 2 paid employees and then a volunteer force of 120 people. But again, it's the generosity of particularly the golf industry, Golf Course Owners Association, Founders Group, East Coast Golf Management. They help us out a lot. All the golf courses are donated. But frankly, we need donations to the First Tee.
Right.
Not business deals where I'm going to market for you and I might get money later. I want to
Gotcha.
help people in their businesses, but
Right.
we do need donations so that we can exist.
Right.
And I can't answer that any other way than we
Right.
have to have local money.
Right. Now, does the state offer any kind of help here? You got the South Carolina Junior Golf Association. You've got the AJGA, the American Junior Golf Association. You would think that they would be looking to reach out in support of the, I don't know, maybe there's so many First Tee programs that they can't get into that wheelbarrow
into all
because
of
it's
them,
a
yeah.
huge wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Is that fair?
Now, I do want to footnote that.
Because that's a funnel.
Yeah.
That's a funnel for them.
Well, we're the top of the funnel. We put the elementary school kids into the
Right.
game, and
Right.
hopefully they choose golf over soccer and football and baseball and
Exactly.
dance and archery or whatever. Now, South Carolina Junior Golf Association is an ACE sponsor for the first tee of the Grand Strand. ACE is $2,500 or more. So
Okay.
donors with a comma in that donation
Sure,
are
sure.
extremely valuable. Hap Lathrop is our honoree for the Future Generations tournament this year. The, I guess, past president now of South Carolina Junior Golf
Man, I'm
Association.
getting old if he's past president and honoree, 'cause
And,
I've known Hap for years.
You are old.
Well, he's had quite an impact out there.
He's done a heck of a job.
And
he really has.
you know, they work closely with the Hootie Monday after
Mm-hmm.
the Masters, and they kind of divvy up the money to the first tees in South Carolina. But really, the only national organization that contributes to us on the Grand Strand is the Arthur Blank Foundation, the owner of the Falcons, Home Depot, but also the owner of the PGA Tour Superstore. Let's say they're a quadruple ACE donor in terms of financial contribution, it's grant money. But I also have my office in the North Myrtle
Right.
Beach location, which basically means I have zero overhead.
Right,
You know,
right.
in terms of running the operation,
Yeah.
and it's a nice little suite upstairs. I
Sure.
encourage people to pop in and
Right.
see our golf cave up there.
Again, you mentioned the Future Generations tournament in honor of HAP, and that's fantastic, in the South Carolina Junior Golf Association. It's going to be Tuesday, July the 19th, and Bob Saganti is welcoming everybody down at Caledonia.
Yeah.
What a fantastic offer for a golf course, you know, to allow something like this to happen, because, I mean, it's just people – it's one of our premier golf courses in the Grand Strand, you know, and you go in there in season and people pay.
Well,
what
that's
they
Bob.
pay. But and Bob to say, hey, let
Bob's
me
going
help.
to get involved.
It's amazing, and that's just fantastic on his behalf.
You can go play golf. I'm going to go fishing with Bob.
No, I'm going with David. You can go with Bob.
No, I'll go with Bob.
I'm going with Kingsland. You can go with Bob.
I used to work for Kingsland, and
I will go fishing
I've
with
eaten
Kingsland.
some of that catch.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
that's good
Yeah.
stuff.
I'm going with Kingsland.
Well, it's July the 19th. Again, this is a scramble format. Is that right?
Yeah, it's a foursome scramble, but each team will include 3 sponsors. I mean, at the price we're charging, I call them sponsors because they are, and one local first tee youth. Which really, that was Kelly Tillman's idea, and again, I think it really spiced up the event last year. So you'll be, out there playing with these kids and seeing not only the golf skills that are developing, but certainly the behavior. I mean,
Sure.
the 9 core values are embedded in every golf lesson. It's not a separate item. It's embedded as part of the game. Respect, responsibility, fixing your ball mark, standing in the right place, keeping quiet. These kids are golf course ready because we work on that with them. It's not intuitive, to stand where you're supposed to and all of that.
Rich, would it be smart to put one of those kids with you and I?
I was going to talk to you about that. Maybe we don't give you drink tickets that day.
That might be
okay,
good.
and can you not cuss for a day?
Ooh.
I mean,
I don't know.
But
I don't cuss.
so maybe the role model thing would be reversed in that case.
There you go.
I
like that.
I'd find the.
We just have to get him a bib when he plays. He has that drooling thing. So.
They would respect that.
How do they get in touch? If somebody viewing, listening from all over the world, they want to. So let's say they're going to be in the Grand Strand on July the 19th. How are they going to be able to participate in this?
Well, simply, hit our website, and all the tournament
Which is what?
is www.thefirstteethograndstrand.org. And all the tournament information's on there, and a lot of information about our programs and our kids, and you can link to Facebook and see all the neat pictures of our play days that we have down at Midway and our programs.
And, of course, if you can't play, you can still sponsor, so get involved.
Absolutely.
Jump on board with it. If you want to sponsor Hugh and I as a team to play in it, we'll promise to behave ourselves. Do you?
Yeah.
Go ahead and pledge.
Yeah.
Said it publicly.
I promise. I promise.
And we are kicking off an internet auction on Monday.
Good.
Very generous contributions from the golf industry and other businesses around here. I mean, Wyndham Vacation Resorts is offering a 7-day package. That's on the auction. So
nice.
People have high value items, foursomes with a lesson from a pro at the club. That'll all be on the internet auction, and we'll be launching that along with a whole bunch of good sports memorabilia. The company I'm working with is out of Charlotte, and they've got lots of Panthers and Joe Montana and all of that. So kind of excited about launching that. That's
very cool.
Great fundraising.
We need to launch, maybe auction off an hour with Hugh and George on the air. What do you think?
Yeah, we could do that.
We could do that?
We could do that.
2 hours would be second place? Is that?
3 would be
second.
All right, Rich Abram, Executive Director. Yeah, that was pretty good, man. That wasn't bad. The First Tee program, of course, of the Grand Strand and the Futures Generation Tournament coming up on July the 19th. That is 2016 down at Bob Sagani's place, Caledonia, True Blue, but it'll be held at Caledonia.
Yep. Thank you, Bob, for that. That's
Thank
awesome.
you, Bob. Yeah. Bob, by the way, if I do get come out and partake, just go ahead and reserve me one of the golf boards so I'll have something to ride around.
Please do. I'd love to watch him break a hip. But, folks, seriously, this is something that needs our help. So if you can get involved, you want to get involved, you want to help grow the game of golf.
No doubt.
These kids are the future of what golf is going to become. So we've got to create an interest. And with Kelly and Charlie being here, whatever we can do to get in there and get involved in this, it will be greatly appreciated. I know by the First Tee program here in the Grand Strand, and let's try to build this and get junior golf booming here.
And if you have any issues, difficulties getting in touch with anybody, whatever, just contact us here at the Golf Director.
Absolutely.
We can steer you in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Mr. Abram, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, and I do want to give a shout out to Gene Weldon. I mean, he's a great First Tee partner, and
he is
first class individual,
and absolutely.
Well,
So
don't go that far. His head,
Well, yours is already big enough, so what's one more?
Okay, all right. Rich, thanks for joining us. You're
Thank you,
welcome
guys.
back anytime. I want to thank everyone for joining us on the roundtable today here at TGD today with Hugh Royer and George Honeycutt. We're so thankful to have you join us, but don't go anywhere. When we come right back, there's a lot more golf information and news coming up next.
And comedy.
I didn't say that.
I did.